What is up, everybody? Welcome to GMAK, the Boiler Man, coming at you from outdoors today. I figured I'd try a new location, man, trying to move it around a little bit. Can't always be in one place, you know what I mean? It's also summertime, so, we might as well take advantage of the weather, and a kind of good prelude into what I wanted to discuss with you guys today. So if you're new to the channel, man, we appreciate you guys being here. As always, can't do it without you, all our subscribers. And if you haven't been here before, man, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, man. Help our algorithm, push the channel up. We're putting a lot of work and time and effort into bringing you, new content and some new information from the point of view of a boiler mechanic, but also from the point of view of somebody who's been blue collar his whole life. So I appreciate you guys being here. Today's episode, man, I get a lot of questions about summertime and what do I do in the summer? Am I busy? Like, all these questions keep coming at me. And the truth is, because we've built a very sound business, we're always busy. My answer is always busy. With that there's a little caveat, right? Busy in the winter, busy in the summer are two different things. For those of you who don't know, we're based out in New York City. So we have seasons like many of you out in the country. Sometimes they could be, the difference in temperatures can be very vast. Some summers can be hotter, some can be cooler, same as the winters. But overall, we have seasonal changes, and with seasonal changes come different calls and different problems that we have to take care of for our clients. With that being said, we've never stopped working. Part of that is business strategy. Part of that is doing what the customers need, right? And everybody asks me what it is that I do. Well, in the summertime, obviously I'm not getting the service calls. We're not getting the heating calls. We do deal with domestic hot water. So we get domestic hot water calls, whether there be no hot water or there's the water's too hot, things of that nature. But most of our time is spent doing preventative maintenance. Now, what's funny is when I first started learning about preventative maintenance, I looked at it as a business opportunity, which it is. Let's be honest. When you run a business of our magnitude and buildings the size that we work in with the clients that we have, we're managing however many properties. And so with that, we stay really busy because of that preventative maintenance. But it is a two-way street, right? Preventative maintenance unto itself is not just a moneymaker. The truth is it kills two birds with one stone. One, it's great for the client. The client finds their service calls are down. I don't know what the percentages are, but it's somewhere in the 40 to 50 percentile range. So we found them to be very helpful. And then on the flip side for us, when the wintertime comes and we're really busy, it helps keep us making sure we can take care of all the clients that we have. Because had we not done a lot of preventative maintenance, in my opinion, we would be slammed come the wintertime. So we do a lot of these stupid things that, again, it's not stupid in reality. I say that because it's really just simple things that you're overlooking and making sure that they're operating at optimal capacities. But a lot of people overlook this. Now, every state is a little bit different. Some of you guys might watch this and say, well, preventative maintenance is like a required by law or whatever. Well, New York City does require it. The DEP requires it. But they haven't enforced anything. So there's still a lot of companies out there that don't push it. The clients always ask. Everybody's looking to save money. So they won't go all in on doing it. More of my push is not necessarily about what the requirements are from the city, although that is part of it, because I'm sure, knowing New York City also, there will be a time when they're going to ask for a log. If you haven't logged many years of doing preventative maintenance left in the boiler room with a ledger, I guarantee they'll hit people with fines. So A, I'm trying to stay ahead of it from a bureaucratic standpoint. B, it's just good to stay on top of these boilers, man. They run all winter long. And once you get them dialed in, they run really well. But then when the summer comes and then we dial it back a little bit, it has the chance for other issues. So we get in there before there's other issues. And basically from the time like June hits to probably about August, September, we're knocking out all of our clients' preventative maintenance needs. This way, when the winter comes, there's no hesitations. There's no issues. 90% of the time, the stuff that we've done have done exactly what they're supposed to do, right? It's called preventative maintenance for a reason. So it prevents a lot of issues. Obviously there are the outliers. Obviously there are things that can go wrong. It's mechanics, man. Happens. We can be thorough on a job, find all types of problems, and then turn around, as soon as, November, December, January, when the winter really starts to get going, that things kick back on us. I mean, that's the nature of the game. And I always get the clients who ask us like, you guys did the preventative maintenance, why? Well, meanwhile, your equipment's 70 years old. So, there's a part of it that we can control. There's a part of it we can't control, right? Such as life. But we have found that, going back to what I said earlier, we're killing two birds with one stone at all time because one, it keeps us busy. We also do annual inspections for the boilers. The city requires us to do annual inspections, and that requires a visual inspection. And usually with that visual inspection, we find multiple issues inside the boiler room. In reality, the best part about this business is we're never really going out of our way to like write things up just to create work. The work is there. That's the one nice thing about this business. And we're staying on top of the buildings for our customers. So they prevent issues. That's our job. My job is to go in, see everything, write everything up. And these little lightning bugs are everywhere, mini lightning bugs around here. Write everything up and send proposals, man. I mean, I can't force people to do the work, but from an annual inspections perspective, if they don't follow through to do the work, then I have to write everything up and file it with the city. So some of the stuff is required, right? And they don't really have many options. They have to do it. So those are the things that, sometimes we do boiler installs. I haven't been doing many of those over the years. I've come to notice kind of like with the trend of the economy and some of the financial things that are going on in the country, a lot of the big purchases, because in the city, the requirements for boiler installs is like, to me, is ludicrous. So between doing a lot of certifications and, a typical job can be astronomical from a cost perspective. So we really don't get into doing many of them. We offer it. We have done them, but we don't do them often. And they're a pain in the ass, if I'm being honest. Like for me, if I could just stick to repairs and service, that's like really our wheelhouse. But we will do, installs. So, back to answering the question, man. So like just giving you this little background, there's a reason I'm talking about it, right? It could be really good for your business. If you're not doing preventative maintenance or offering preventative maintenance, it's something I strongly suggest, from a business perspective and just from like a going into the next season and making sure you're staying on top of your equipment, because that's where a lot of the problems happen. When I started in this business, I remember doing so many service calls and we were never doing preventative maintenance on the buildings. Never going through the burners, never making sure they were working all right. And, you say to yourself, well, that's good because now I have service calls. But when you're taking care of 700 buildings or whatever the number is, and none of them are getting preventative maintenance and things are breaking down left and right, and especially the first like month or two of the season, any of you guys who do work in the Northeast know, like that first like month or two of the season is so hectic. And then eventually like you find this nice spot where everything's taken care of and your clients are happy and the equipment is firing on all cylinders, especially during like the colder months. Like, yes, it gets busy, but it doesn't get busy necessarily always from like a mechanical perspective. Sometimes it's, condensate tanks or heating problems that are not really necessarily related to the equipment. It's more like system issues, which is another thing where we do a lot of, and that's another thing we're doing now is they have a lot of local laws in the city. So we're doing a lot of main venting and some insulating and some other stuff. It's funny is I'm not a big go green guy, but I do agree with venting and some of Dan Holohan's teachings, or really all of them. That guy is a savant. But main venting in the building and insulating your pipes and stuff, just doing minimal things that, yes, have a price tag to them, but the price tag is not so vast that, you don't recoup that money. You certainly recoup that money. I don't know what the numbers are. I don't have calculations in front of me. I couldn't say to you A to Z, whatever, but I know just from my experience how a balanced system works compared to an unbalanced system. So that's a video for another day. But anyway, just to answer the question, man, yes, we stay busy. We stay busy almost 365 days a year. It's different busy. Wintertime is different busy than summertime busy, but busy nonetheless. The business keeps rolling. we keep operations where they need to be, keep all the guys happy, keep all the guys going, myself included. And man, we're just always trying to build and grow and thrive. That's the way the world works. And we love doing it. So once again, man, we appreciate you guys being here. If you want to add something to this conversation, by all means, man, we love hearing the comments. We love hearing what you guys have to say. Drop a comment below. We always answer our comments. We love having the discussions about the business. You always can hear my point of view. I'm not really giving you facts and numbers here, just talking to you based on the things that I've, come across and experienced. So appreciate you guys being here once again, man. Like, once again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, man, and you watched the video this far, man, just hit that button, man. It's all good, it's all love. And smash that like. Really helps us, and put a lot of work into this channel, and we appreciate you guys being here. We hope you have an amazing day. Hope you have an amazing weekend. Hope you keep kicking, keep taking names. Have a great day. Peace.